Hey everybody, welcome back into Lettermen Row headquarters. I am Austin Ward. That's Evan Spencer, former Ohio State NFL wide receiver, the expert on running those routes. This is BuckIQ. Maybe we're running it into the ground. I don't know. Chris Olave just keeps building though, and it's like adding more and more that you just can't help talking about this kid. Definitely. He is really coming on.
I'm about to say it's definitely not getting old at all, right? It's getting every day that much more exciting. But realistically, it's fun to just watch him go out there.
Yeah.
And, because even sometimes when you're not in the game, you can obviously get a little bit more of the facial reactions because of the cameras and whatnot. But you can always just see this sense of calm about him. See this, like, I'm relaxed playing with my friends, just having a good time. Like, we're just doing what we do, right? But in that, when you watch that kind of charisma, it was a little bit of something that I talked about with Dwayne last year. That's when you can really play your best ball, and it's so exciting to see a young guy that's at that spot now that's got so much room to go, and it's going to be exciting to kind of dig into the plays here in a bit. But I'm excited for him. Really.
Yeah, you can kind of see that chemistry with Justin Fields coming along. I mean, the last 2 weeks, he actually went without a catch against Michigan State. I think he didn't even have a target. Mm-hmm. And then, boom, 4 touchdowns in the next 2 games. Yeah. It was almost like they wanted to prove a point that this guy's back, and it's so important to the offense.
Well, I mean, when you're out there competing, and more importantly, when you're getting open, right? When you're using your abilities to create separation for yourself. Sometimes there are scripted plays to get this person or that guy that has that number of the ball, but more importantly than not, it's, hey, I'm going to go beat my guy, right? So if I'm doing that time after time after time, the quarterback's going to say, you know what? Well, if I have a play where I got to get this ball out quick, I know who's probably going to win. Not to say that the other cats aren't, because they definitely are. We have a very productive room. But in saying that, right, that's how a lot of that momentum builds, and I'm excited that he's gotten that, and there's much more to come. That's for sure.
That momentum is definitely building. Buckeyes 8-0, getting ready for that November championship push. Evan Spencer looking at Chris Olave yet again. Let's roll the tape. All right, Evans, we go here, and Chris Olave bouncing back from that Michigan State game, no catches, and now he's been on an absolute tear. This was the following game there at Northwestern. Had a couple weeks to think about it. Came out, had a couple touchdowns. Here's the first one.
Yeah, totally. I mean, so essentially I see 3 or 4 guys. Can we go back to the top one more time here? And then we'll pause it right at the top. This is perfect. So naturally we have 3 receivers over here, the receiver, the tight end, and the running back. And it looks like we got 3 matching, maybe him taking the back over here, right? So naturally we don't have a good numbers game. But again, with the design of the play, so kudos to Ryan Day here. Mm-hmm. The design of the play, there's a lot of natural rubs in this route. And I was mentioning, and I'm sure we'll get into this play because I've seen Chris score on it a healthy number of times. It's a way to get a legal rub, essentially, right? But a lot of defenses try to cut it with one of their safeties, or try to have that corner, be a Superman and just chase and try to cut off that backside. But at essence, if we let it run, you can see here that we can just play with leverage and let him continue with speed and win. And we'll see it time and time again in this clip, but. In this specific look, it looks like they're matched up pretty good here, but this natural rub that we have just allows our guy to play with speed, and Chris Olave is just going off right now. And, obviously his ability, the natural qualities that he has, that he utilizes so well, that burst and speed, and then ability to play loose and go get the ball, you see it here in fruition. And, it's been a lot of fun to watch.
That guy's got speed to burn, and he seems to be making a mark there in the middle of the field, but really all over, because you go on here, we've got some other clips where he's running these out routes, he's running the middle of the field. He seems like just a real handful right now, Evan.
Totally. And this is another great clip. We're going to get a play action. If we can start this one from the top, the other view. So this is another one. Okay, stop here. I like the cut split, right? Because what's that do? That puts him in a serious bind. Now he's got to cover next to a third of the field, which is definitely a really tough thing to do. And once we get these guys going, right, they're committing more people to the box. They're trying to stop our running game because they're trying to make us one-dimensional some type of way. So get a cut split. Hey, what are we expecting? Maybe stretch. Maybe he's coming in and cracking down. So on the release, you'll see an inside stem, and he gets position right away on that safety. And after that, so long as he plays with speed and leverage, he's won, right? And the quarterback reads him, probably gives him some eyes right here to suck him up, and then it's just a good ball in the corner of the end zone.
Getting your feet down, obviously, that's the tough part too. 2 feet.
Yeah. No, this is a drill that or at least that we did, almost daily. And that's just making sure that you get as many as you can. Make a statement. If you can get 12, do it.
He's been doing that well. Seeming to have a great rapport there with Justin Fields. As we mentioned, the last 2 weeks, 4 touchdowns for Chris Olave. I mean, that's a wide receiver's dream. And this is in a driving rainstorm, and you know how hard it can be to catch the football out there. It looks it all the way in here.
This is another one. I like this one from the top in this view too, again, because this will be the picture of that man coverage look. Before we were up here in zone, kind of they were matching it with 3 over 3 or 4 over 3. Here we're going to get a more traditional look from him matching our drag route. Now you can see the real leverage that this will allow us to have on this play. And hopefully I'm not giving away too many secrets here. But no, I mean, at essence, you can see right now he's playing with space. One might even try to cut him off there, but he's not really in a position to reroute him any longer because he can be agile, right? So if I just continue with speed up this way, cut those safeties, and we get middle of the field open, it's a touchdown.
Does that route there, when it looks like he's coming into this linebacker here, is he going to adjust the route depending on what he sees? Is he following the exact track? And
not necessarily, right? So, I mean, it's all coverage dependent. I mean, I'm sure that he's feeling this, but his eyes are kind of where his path needs to get. I don't know exactly how we're coaching this up, but I can almost assume that it wouldn't make all too much sense to cross his face and come up here, right? Because he can get hands on, and now number one can recover over the top and cut 17 off, right? So I would say that it's most likely taught to find that little hole right there, but you know, our guys are just good at playing football too, right? So you know, there is a little bit of that. You know, in the play calling, right? You know, be an athlete, be out there, feel where your hole is, and then just don't get obstructed.
All right, so that's the hat trick. Here comes number 4, putting away Wisconsin, and looks pretty similar again.
Yep.
Justin Fields going to his right.
Exactly.
Easy throw to Chris Olave.
When you're playing receiver, if you're playing with leverage, you are a winner more often than not. And here's another example, right? DB's inside. Our receiver has leverage. He's got a two-way go. After he's run this a couple times, he'll start cheating more head up, and then he's really got a two-way go. But here, right, he keeps his leverage and he plays with speed. When you do that, you get these openings, right? I mean, the better corners will be able to pop out of that and be right on that hip. But even then, the faster you can get out of that, you know, the quarterback will put it on that other shoulder and a better throw, and then you just keep moving, and the DB can't recover.
Easy money for Chris Olave, easy money for Justin Fields. The Buckeyes 8-0. Chris Olave getting it done with Justin Fields as those guys building the offense, expanding the passing attack, and Evan Spencer breaking it down for us on Lettermen Row, BuckIQ. For Evan, I'm Austin. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe below to get the latest videos from Lettermen Row.
We got Letterman Live, we've got the practice report, we got rapid reaction. Hey, and you know we got BuckIQ with Zach Bourne.
For sure. We got recruiting breakdowns with Berm. We got whatever you need. Ohio State football and Ohio State athletics, we've got you covered here at Lettermen Row.